Hey guys, it's your girl, Virtuous TV. Yep, this is me all day long. I am in my silly, exotic mood. If you know, I'm freaking with Lil Wayne and 50 Cent, okay? Y'all share this video eventually. I'm here to talk about views versus virtue, virtuosity, and being a virtuous woman, okay? Do you know any virtuous women on YouTube, on social media? Do you know anybody who have touched the hem of Christ's garment and virtue left out of him and came into us? Well, do you know what virtuosity means? So you guys do your homework, okay? We're going to talk about views versus virtuosity. We're going to talk about views versus virtue, virtuosity, and being a virtuous woman. We're going to talk about Naya Rivera. We're going to talk about 50 Cent and Lil Wayne and my silly edition of being exotic. If you don't know, honey, I had to go dig deep for this exoticness over here. I'm like, hell. So we got a lot to talk about, guys. I am not going to stay here too long. It hasn't even been a damn minute and 30 seconds. So let me just break down virtuosity versus views. A lot of people think I ain't shit over here because I have no views, I have no engagement, I have no people that come my way. Well, on a certain sector of YouTube, I prayed for demons to stay away. I asked God to put a hedge of protection around my damn channel so the demonic behavior and activities and hatefulness and whatever hell else that comes out of all of this bullshit when you're on YouTube and you're not really meeting your goals, so you'll sell your soul to get to where you want to be. That's not being virtuous. You know, Christ said that there was a woman, the Bible says that there was a woman who, she had an issue of blood for about 18 years, 12 years, 18 years. And this woman was cast out from the tribes, the Pharisees, the scribes, the doctors, spent all their money. And all this woman had to do, she heard that there was a balm of Gilead in her neighborhood, and she went and she sought and she found him, and she pressed through the crowd and she touched him, and immediately he turned around and said, "Who touched me?" Because he felt virtue leave his body. How many people you know on YouTube have touched the hem of the garment of the Most High God until virtue left out of them, left out of him, and came into them? I don't see many people, y'all. But what we do on Religion Link TV is we try to encourage people to seek virtuosity, to seek being a virtuous woman. And you do this by touching the hem of Christ's garment. Sexy doesn't mean virtuous. Having a nice shape doesn't mean virtuous. Hell, being ugly doesn't mean you're not exotic. 50 Cent and Lil Wayne. Because I know y'all trying to say most exotic women is European and of that descent. I'm here to tell you, if you look up the word exotic, there was a set of people brought from a different part of the world over here to be somebody's slave, and they dimmed our exoticness and told us if we bought Peruvian, Brazilian hair, we become more exotic. Told us if we covered up our face with CoverGirl, we'll be better looking. Told us if we wear Maybelline, maybe we'll be as beautiful as we once were before they stripped our beauty and our exoticness. So I don't think you guys really understand what being a virtuous woman is really all about. And all I try to do on my channel is show you somebody with 10 million views does not mean they're virtuous and have the virtue of God in them. somebody like me who get maybe 3 people in the chat, if I could speak my truth, and maybe get 40 views on the replay, if that, have more virtue in me than that person who has 10 million views. Has more virtue in me than someone who has. Tasha K, that the girl had 30,000 people in her chat last night. Were they all virtuous people? Were they all godly people? Of course not. And we're not always going to draw all godliness, and whatever else to us, right? Y'all see how I got my damn little green screen thing hung up on the wall up there? Ain't no shame in my game. Shit. I'm trying to tell you, that's virtuosity. So there was a woman trying to explain to her son what kind of woman he should be looking for when he go out on his own. And in order for her to be filled with virtuosity, she had to have touched the hem of God's garment to become this virtuous woman. She had to touch the hem of the garment to get the virtue in her to become the virtuous woman you find in Proverbs 31, 1 through the end of the chapter. And these are black people we're talking about. What about the Nefertiti's? What about the Harriet Tubmans? What about my Celie edition? It was something sexy about Celie in the color purple, damn it. It was her strength and her determination to overcome the wickedness and the abuse at the hands of her own father, let alone another race. Something us exotic women had to deal with damn near all our lives. You want to talk about you and Lil Wayne? I told you I tried to do that other video. Lil Wayne, if you don't think I look better than Kimberly Rose in my Celia edition, shit, you done lost your damn mind. Alright? Because I know what you guys are trying to say is that the European descent, the Caucasian white women of the world are better women than the black race. That's what you're really trying to say. So I know there's some black sisters look way better. You take that CoverGirl off, you take that Maybelline off, you take the goddamn Botox and all that shit off, or you take them little boys out the goddamn Romans over there bloodstream, them's the white crack. And that's what they used to be called. Our ancestors didn't know what white European people were, so they called them crackers. Now we can no longer say cracker, but they can still say nigger. This is your exotic edition of the Celie exotic edition. Virtue versus views versus virtue, virtuosity, and being a virtuous woman. Let me go over here and see if I get my Bible real quick. Hopefully I got enough time to read it to y'all before it go down while I'm thinking of it. Let me go ahead and give you the Bible verse of Proverbs 34. Let's get there. Oh, hell. Remember, my Bible is so unorganized here. So unorganized here, right? Let's get to Proverbs 31. Hurry up. Let's do it. Where's my readers at, y'all? I can't find them. We gonna do this shit without the readers. Proverbs 31. Who can find a virtuous woman? It says in verse 10. Now, if you go back to verse 1, it says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. See, there are women around that can teach you how to be a virtuous woman, but you can't get there by any means necessary. Alright? It's better to use your brain, your faith, your mind, and your spirit than it is to use your body, conniption, conniving, deception, manipulation, and malice of your heart to get ahead, okay? Now, so she says, what, my son? What hath the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. And there's women out here destroying kings. Not trying to help build up our nation. You're trying to destroy every ounce of a king that's left in this world. That's what these demons do. So then it goes on to say, it is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drinks. So anybody out here calling themselves the king or the kings of this world on strong drink is deceiving God's people. Alright, and let me just go on and says 5. Lest I drink and forget thy law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. See, the judgment of the afflicted is what we're going to talk about next. Because if you don't think God is not judging the wickedness of black people, such as 50 Cent and Lil Wayne and all the rest of us that got to take one for the team because of their ignorance when it comes to exotic people, you done lost your mind. There is a judgment, people. So, verse 10 goes on to say, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. See, when you have a husband and when you have a man, or if you're not married or whatever, but he trusts in you, knowing you ain't out sleeping around on these YouTube streets, social media, selling yourself for a click and a view, your relationships will be better off with not only that person that has trust in you or not so much trust in you or lack thereof trust in you versus people who will have trust in you, right? So listen, it goes on to say, you're going to be spoiled. You're a spoiled, rotten ass person. Well, we're talking about women here right now. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. See, you will do the man, your husband, good. Unfortunately, some of you wayward women haven't even been able to get a husband. Even Celie was married. She is like the merchant ship. Oh, go back. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. There go that flax. She's about the flaxseed, okay? She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from after. 15. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth the field in verse 16, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. 17. She grindeth her loins with strength. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strength hence her arms. I gotta strengthen my arms. I told y'all, a little flabby. You know, you go through menopause and get a certain age. Baby, my flab on my arms could change. Can the flab on your heart change so you could become a virtuous woman? 18. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. 19. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. 20. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. She don't take from the poor. She give to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. 21. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all that her household all are clothed with scarlet. So she's not afraid of the cold because her household is clothed with clean clothes, clean coats, different coats to wear throughout the wintertime. 22. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. And you say she butt-ass naked on camera trying to get attention for clicking views. This is a virtuous woman right here. She's making clothes to cover herself, to drape herself. Not to show her nakedness. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the sitters on the lands. Almost done, people. She maketh fine linen and selleth, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. You see? She's selling merchandise, but it's not her body. Remember, I told you, God will give you beauty for ashes, for all the things you go through in this life. But He is not going to give you beauty for your body you out here abusing, trying to get a click in the view. 25. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. I will rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Yes, Lord. 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Ooh, idle hands, idle work, idle time, idle whatever is the devil's workshop. And baby, when you idled throughout the night, when you ain't praying through 3 and 6 a.m. in the morning, you wake up with hell and devils in you. Demons come out you the minute you open up your mouth. There's no kindness, and it's hatred, it's vitriol all the day long. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and sitteth not with the bread of idleness. Always busy about doing the Lord's work, not my own. 28. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, he pursueth her. And you got some women out here, all they could get is the Travelers Aid and Homeless Shelter rejects from the city mission as a man to date. Pickups on the side of the road. No history of men from your youth and your childhood that's still desiring you today. No children rising up calling you blessed. Like, get me the hell away from these goddamn people. That's what the children's saying. And finally, it goes on to say, verse 29, many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. 30, favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. See, it's a difference from being praised and praising yourself. Self-vainglory. Anytime you got to come on here and tell anybody how beautiful, how sexy, how wise, how gorgeous, how loving, how kind, it's false praise. And the last verse, 31, isn't that funny? It's 31 verses, and it's chapter 31 of Proverbs, right? That is complete. That's complete to me. 31 says, give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Let her own works, not her mouth, let her own works. And what some people out here is working is the gifts of the devil. They conning you out your money with salacious seduction and Baphomet goat bullshit. You see these demons out here? It's like, I got a video called Peen, Porn, and the Poo-Poo Platter. Y'all look out for that video. There ain't nothing virtuous about that. Just like it ain't nothing virtuous about a lot of your women in your churches and in your church houses and storefronts and over your lives. These people are deceiving you out here as if they're godly, have no power working thereof in them. Happy Saturday to you guys. Blessed Shabbat. I hope to see you on the upcoming news broadcast.